Back out on the trail this morning. I'm super excited because I'm back on the Onsra. So excited to be back on that board. Made some changes. People have been asking what changes I made. Let's start with an overview of the board, what it looks like now, and the ShredLights. All right, welcome back to the channel. Huge shout out and thank you. Can't say it enough to all my subscribers and everybody that is making that channel great and commenting and continuing the conversation down in the comments. You guys are teaching me a ton. You're teaching everybody else a ton. Keep it up. That's what the channel is all about. This channel is about informing everybody, trying to be as informative as possible. And in doing that, I need everybody's opinion in order to have a broader just opinion of everything. So I'm only one person. This is only my opinions. Look down in the comments, see everybody else's opinions, and then you can start to formulate your own based on if you got 100 people saying the same thing, pretty good chance that it's true. So thanks, welcome back. All right, today I had asked a couple of subscribers quite a while back that, hey, if I were to reach out to a company, you know, something to throw on the board, something to do to the boards, and something that, you know, I can get a discount for my viewers, what company would that be? And the consensus was ShredLights. All right, so I don't do a whole bunch of writing at night, but there has been a couple times, especially when I get a brand new board or something like that, that I'm like, man, I really wish that I could go writing, but it's too dark, so I don't go. So I've been looking for different lights, and ShredLights are kind of ruling the market. If you've looked for lights, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Are there other companies out there? Absolutely, there are other companies. What do you see 99% on all the boards? It's ShredLights. So I reached out to them and said, hey, I have a YouTube channel. My viewers want me to review some ShredLights, and if I'm going to do all that and put all that work into it, then I need a discount code for my viewers. So they did give me a discount code. The only thing is you have to use the link if you want the channel to get credit. So if you want the channel to get credit, look in the description. There's a link. Click on the link. Use the discount code. Enjoy. Here we go. We're going to dive into this. I'm going to go ahead and install it on the board, and I'm going to give an overall review of what I think so far and a couple rudimentary tests. And then just throughout the course of me riding the board, I'll keep everybody updated on how they're holding up. So let's look at the lights real quick off the get-go. So I just got these today. This is the packaging they come in. You don't want to see an unboxing, right? So get that out of here. Took everything out of the packaging. So far, I'm really impressed on how they're packaged. So I think this one, the white one, the one with the black band, and then the red O-ring is the red light, I think. But they don't come charged from ShredLights. So I got some inside charging. But check this out. I thought it was super cool. So the port is right on top. It looks to be waterproof-ish. I don't know. I'm not going to dunk it in water and find out. But I mean, this is actually a really cool system. So I've had 3 boards now, and the board manufacturer can't figure out how to get a rubber doodad into a metal doodad in order for it to go in easily and stay in. ShredLights have figured it out. Check that out. Charging port, and once you plug in the charger, I wasn't sure how it was going to indicate if it's charging or if it's good to go. Right when you plug in the charger, the whole lens right here just starts illuminating red. That's how you know that I'm charging. I thought that was really cool. So let's get some of the stuff out of the box and take a look at what we got. All right, got a whole bunch of gear out, laid out on the board. It takes up the whole board. So what I did was I just went and bought the kit that has all the different mounts in it because I wasn't sure what I was going to need. And I figured, well, I have a couple boards. If I buy the different mounts, I can test it out on the Onsra, and then whatever mounts that I have left over, I'm going to try to fit onto the Evolve. What's cool about this is, if you haven't seen the ShredLights, they slide in and then lock into place, clip into place. You can charge it from the mount, supposedly, as long as it's not interfering with anything. But what's cool about that is you only have to buy one set of lights for multiple boards. If you buy multiple mounts, which are actually really good quality, and I'm really surprised on the price on these. They're not much. If I remember right, it's like around 10 bucks, give or take 5, for all the different mounts, which is super cool. So I got some elongated mounts, I got some regular ones, I got some flat ones, and then of course I got some angled ones. I think those look cool. Maybe throw those in the front of the board. Obviously with the belt drive, I'm gonna run into some type of issue back here, because if I mount the light underneath, it's just gonna hit the light and gonna hit the motor. So I'm probably gonna have to mount them on top in the back, which I'm not super stoked about, but we'll see how they go on. But yeah, so that's all those. I got these mounts just in case. So these are the ones that wrap around the axle. They come with two rubber bands, one rounded cut and one V-shaped cut for the different truck shapes out there, and you can just swap these out. So these are easily swappable. Got those. All the lights come with charging cables, so I got plenty of charging cable. I got some helmet mounts. So there's a flat one and the curved one. I'm kind of in between on what helmet that I'm going to wear right now. So I have my motocross helmet. If you have helmet ideas, throw them in the comments. I'm still looking for a helmet, but I think because I got two sets of each, I think I'm going to try to mount these on my motocross helmet and wear them for now, and then when I decide on another helmet, then I'll have another set to throw on there. And then I got the backpack mount. So out of everything, that kind of, I guess, my least favorite, but I haven't really tried it on the backpack. It's just big and cumbersome, but I mean, on the strap of the backpack, I don't think that you'll really notice it. I wasn't sure how this was going to look and how it was going to be. It is a GoPro style mount, but you just clip this part onto your backpack. It does have some strength, and then you can adjust this accordingly on however you want it angled. Like if it's sitting like that, you don't want the light sideways, so you'd angle it out so the light's straight forward. Yeah. So there's all the stuff for it. Now let's get them thrown on. I'll just cut this part out. I'll show you exactly what I decided to use on the Onsra and how I like it, and then we're gonna go into some testing. All right, so here's the first update. I wanted to try to see if the angled mount would fit underneath the board in the front. It's not going to work, because right when you try to turn and this truck gets closer to the board, it is going to hit the trucks. So you can't use the angle mount in the front underneath, and you can't use it underneath in the back. So the angle mounts have to go on top if you're going to use them. All right, so I decided on the flat mounts. They're not the flat mounts, the regular mounts. These are the flat ones. I don't know. I guess if you mount it to the top of the board, it would be fine. I don't really know, because you have to leave enough room in here for that locking mechanism to slide in and for you to be able to unclip it. So I'll find a use for something with this, but I use the regular mounts, the ones that have that little bit of an angle to them. You can see right there has that little bit of a lip, and I put them underneath on the front. It looks like they're gonna work. You can see the distance between the truck and the light. That might be a problem. I stood on it and flexed it all the way over as hard as I can get it, and there was still a little bit of clearance in between. Not enough clearance for me to stick my finger in, but a little bit of clearance, so it should be okay. If it starts hitting the light, then I'm just gonna have to give up and mount it on top. But for right now, the fronts are mounted below the board. This is the difference of the two mounts that I'm talking about. So this is the one that I used. See how it has that lip and it creates this gap in between, so that locking mechanism can slide in here and latch. And then this is the flat one. So this is what they call the regular mount, I believe, and this is what they call the flat mount. Okay, I figured out the use for the flat mount. So if you want to mount it on top, because your truck on a through deck like this, because your truck sits up off the deck, you could actually mount the flat mounts in the front on top. So that's a locking mechanism. See how it's sitting below the mount? But this gap right here allows you to mount it on top. All right, so here's the rears. I decided to use the long reach angled mounts. The normal angle mounts would have worked just fine. The flat mounts would have worked just fine. I like the looks of this better, and I wanted to get the lights as far away from my feet as possible, so I'm not stepping on them. I don't want to break them. Yeah, but pretty straightforward and simple. I know on the Onsra, I'm a little worried about this for the boards. Sorry, I'm gonna flip it. So on the Onsra, the screws are just long enough. So they're the screw with the bracket. I left the washer on so it doesn't pull that bolt or the nut through the board. And there's enough thread coming through that nylon that it's even. So I can see at least one thread of the shank of the bolt. So that means it went all the way through the nylon on the locking nut. So I'm good to go there. The front was even more simple, sticks out a little bit more because I didn't, since I mounted them on the bottom, I didn't need the washers here. The mount acts like a washer. Now, I will say that the light locked into this a little bit and I had to grab the mount and bend it down just a little bit like that in order to get the light out, but now it slides in and out freely. So I think this is going to be my setup for right now, underneath with the regular mounts in the front and the angled far-reaching ones in the rear. We'll see. I might change it up later, but that's what I'm going to run for right now. I really wish that YouTube would let people post picture in the comments. Hit me up on Instagram, tag me on Instagram, show a picture of your setup, and let me know what you're running and what you've found to be the best kind of mounts or the best that works for you. All right, got all the mounts on, everything mounted, lights are charged. There's the rears. The fronts are underneath it. So the way these work, if you're not familiar with them, is if you hold down the power, then it just turns on to your last setting. So I have these on the strobe setting. There's 6 settings altogether. So this is the fast with the slow strobe. If you just click the button, it goes through all 6 steps. Fast strobe, slow strobe. So you got slow, fast, and then combo. And then you got constant on, you got low or high, medium, low in this case. Oh, that's cool. So there's 2 buttons on each light. I thought they did the same thing, but if you're flipping through the progressions, it goes the opposite way. So if you go this way, I'll go down to strobe, and then if I go this way, I'll go back into the constant on. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, inside the house, they seem super bright. I know that a couple of people have said that they're not very bright or not bright enough for riding. I 100% believe that that's because of how low they're mounted to the ground and has nothing to do with the lumens of the light. The light is plenty bright enough. I gotta wait until it gets dark to go and fully test, but we'll go out there and test and see what these are like. All right, so we're out here pretty dark. We're gonna do a little bit of an experiment. So I got a flashlight. I don't even know if you can see that, but I got a flashlight in my hand. So we're gonna do a little bit of an experiment. I'm gonna turn the flashlight on and put it on the ground and back up. See how far that goes? Doesn't go very far. It's a very bright flashlight for what it is. And you can see it's lighting up the road just fine, but it doesn't go very far. Anybody that's been out searching for stuff in the dark know that you take the flashlight and raise it over your head. Now you can start to see things around the neighborhood, down the road, stuff like that, right? So a flashlight works a lot better when it's elevated off the ground. So with the ShredLights, it's important to not only have the lights on the lights on the board help people see the board, help you see directly what's in front of you, kind of like fog lights in a car, right? It's the lights on your helmet or the lights on your head that are really going to help you out with the distance stuff. So let's try this out. I'm going to turn on all the lights on the board, go for a short ride, record it, and then I'm going to turn on my helmet light and we'll see if there's a difference. Alright, got the lights on the board. Actually, that's really good. That's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, honestly. I mean, they turn with the board, so anytime you carve, your lights turn. It's pretty cool. I mean, that's a lot better than I expected it to be. I live in the city, so we'll ride out right on the outskirts. I know some of you live in a true city like New York City. I don't live in New York City, but I live on the outskirts and there's a lot of light pollution and it's pretty cloudy. We've had some wildfires, so there's a lot of smoke in there, which is retaining a lot of that light. You can see when there isn't a street light. And see, now that car can see me. That's the biggest thing for me, man. I don't mind riding at night because I got the street lights and everything, but the cars will run you over. That's actually really cool. Alright, I'm going to try to find a darker road, and then we're going to use this helmet light. Alright, I found a dark section of road. I mean, the lights do really well. I'm not going to do 20 miles an hour. I can't see that far, and I don't have enough reaction time, but the lights do well. It's just that it casts shadows, so any of the dips that you're seeing, I can't really see how deep the dips are, because the lights are so low to the ground that it casts all the shadows across it. So while I'm riding, I haven't even tried this thing. Let's try that. Oh, look at that. Look at that, man. So having that helmet light really made a big difference. That's what's going to light up, and that's just one light on my helmet. That's just one of the shred lights on my helmet, and it just lights it up a lot better. Makes a big difference. There's no way that I'd be riding on this road at night without the lights. Alright, so that's with the light. That's without the helmet light. The helmet light makes a world of difference. So I mean, looking at these shred lights, I know they call them shred lights. They're supposed to be for skateboards, but I can think of all kinds of great uses for these. I mean, they're rechargeable, so if you're out running late at night, please don't run that stop sign. If you're out running late at night or for a bicycle, I'm looking at those, let me turn the helmet light back on. I was looking at those mounts that I had that I thought maybe for the trucks, and I'm thinking they won't really work for skateboard trucks unless you have like AT set up. You might have enough clearance, but I think those are more for like handlebars, the seat post on a bike. So they're not just for putting on your skateboard. You can throw the mounts on your skateboard and then use them for anything else. Yeah, man, these are really cool. Lighten up those signs. Oh yeah, here's a dark area. Let's try it one more time. I know this is gonna be long, but if you're gonna spend $100 on some lights, I figure you would want to know and see as much as possible. So that's with the helmet light. That's without it. Yeah, I just can't see how deep the cracks are. And then you turn that one on and boom. So if you're only going to buy the 4 lights, then put one on your board and one on your helmet. The helmet makes a world of difference. Now let's take a look at what the board looks like at night, all lit up. So glad to be back on the Onsra. I'm probably blinding the camera, but boom. Here, I'll throw my helmet down there so you can see. I just have one light mounted on the side of the helmet, but down low you're going to get all the reflection, or you're going to see all the shadow casted off of the road. And then right when you pick up that helmet and you elevate it, it takes all those shadow away, so you can actually see how deep stuff is, get some depth perception. It makes a world of difference. Wow, these are actually really cool. I wasn't sure if I'm gonna like them or not. You know, not really my thing having the lights on the board, but if I want to be out in the middle of a road this late at night, you better have something on your board. All right, I guess that sums up the testing. I mean, I'll keep everybody posted to make sure that they stay, you know, working and everything. They stay locked into the mounts, but so far I'm really impressed. Good job, ShredLights. You guys have a quality product here. So it looks like I'm gonna have to change the brackets out. I used the elongated ones, but the motors on the Onsra are too tall. You can see this bright ring is making contact with this corner whenever I carve really hard or turn really hard. So I'm gonna have to use the shorter ones on this. So what I ended up doing is the holes right here, I just moved it back. So I had it all the way towards the rear of the board, and I moved it back one more spot. So hopefully it won't make contact, but we'll see. If it does, I'll have to go with the shorter one that don't stick out the back of the board. So yeah, even at the back setting, it's gonna make contact with it. So I'm gonna have to go with the shorter ones. So a bunch of people have been asking for an update on the Onsra. So I ended up getting a new deck, and in swapping it over, I realized that I absolutely didn't need a deck. I didn't understand how the inserts were in the board. I thought they were pressed in. They're not pressed in, they're screwed in. So yeah, if you have problem with the screws like I did, all you have to do is get the inserts and pull the grip tape up a little bit, put new inserts in, put new screws in, and you'll be done. So I'm back on the Onsra. Super stoked.